Alright, so the second option of designing a light fixture would be to use the mesh command. So basically what I would start out with is going to my mesh tabs, initial design, which probably would be more of a sphere, or actually mesh cylinder. That would be a good design. So do a mesh cylinder. It's pretty much doing a cylinder shape. From there, as you can see, you can start adjusting it by adding additional lines or just modifying as is. We're going to modify it as is. We'll get into adding additional creases and so forth later, but for now we're just going to do it in a way that it's simple. I'm going to select all these parts of this object. As you can see, I'm not selecting the inside or the outside layer, and it's drawn on X and Y, so I'm going to drag by holding the Z axis on the gizmo. I'm going to drag it back, except for there's one mistake. It looks like I grabbed something that I was not supposed to. So I'm going to go back, do that one more time. So you hold control, you select these surfaces, and then the blue. There we go. And I create a fixture like that. Now let's say I'm going to actually keep it as is. Actually, this looks pretty cool. So what you can do next, I mean, you can of course modify it in any way, shape, or form. I mean, you could select these faces, pull them back, which you may want to or you may not want to, or pull it out. And if it's kind of interfering with things and you're almost snapping onto objects, what you can do is that gizmo, you're supposed to be able to drag it out. See if I can do it here. Ah, it's not letting me. Alright. There we go. Doesn't let me do that. Alright, I'll just keep it as is. I'm just going to work with it later. So I'm going to select that surface here. Hold control and click on it. Rotate it around to get that gizmo set. Now it looks like it's a little crooked, so I should have rotated this object more. I'm going to leave it as is for now. I'm going to drag this back a little bit, giving it a unique shape. If I want to do it all sides, I can do that too. Remember, the graphic card is never usually good, so even though you see some gaps or some errors, don't worry about that. Alright, so I have a shape that I'm actually like, and from there I can actually smooth it out more. So I can do the smooth more option here, select the object, and I smooth it out a few times, giving me a unique kind of lamp fixture. Now let's say I wanted to attach it to the wall or anything. I also need to create an actual part that would attach this. So to do that, I might have to create the shape on the next to this and go to a top view. So I'm going to go top view. I'm going to design something that could attach to the wall. So probably rectangle, with probably a circle shape at the base. So if I had it over the object, you can't see it, but I'll extrude it out now. There we go. And I can just union it together, giving it one single piece. From there, take the center point and I move it over to here, which I can't grab the center point because there is no center point. So I'm going to have to work out some idea of making a center point, such as, I might uncrease this So I'd use the uncrease or smooth less. I'll go all the way back. Now I can actually draw a line as a reference, and I can move this object or this bracket that's going to attach to the wall to hold my lamp. Now I can make this a solid object, union it together so it's one big piece, and then I can convert it back into a mesh and smooth it out more. That's one option, or I can leave it as is. So I'm going to make a copy just so I can see the difference in designs. So this is going to be smooth more again, so I get to go back to that. That's my completed design. The other one will be I convert this into a solid by going to sculpt. So I can go to surface, sculpt, select the object, and I sculpt it. It becomes a sculpted object, and I union it with the top piece. So it allows it to become one piece. Oh, guess it didn't let me do that. Looks like it became solid, a surface piece instead of a sculpted.
To the line which is on top, and you gotta get rid of the line.
The line shouldn't be affected because it's still two pieces. See, it's still not unioning it together. So I'm just going to undo a little bit. And there is a different command to be used if I want to convert a mesh into a solid. It's a little trickier. So you go to mesh, convert to solid. I do that. So maybe now it should work. I go back to home. I union the two objects. Yeah, it's still not working. Or maybe they're not connected.
That's what I was saying, they're probably not connected. You might be able to bring it down.
Bring that down. Let's try that down. Yeah, you are correct. So they weren't connected, surprisingly. So I have to move them down a little bit. It's now connected, so now I can actually, it's a solid piece. Again, I'll make a copy, because in case I do something else and I want to, and I'll regret it, I'll actually have a copy to return to. From here, I'm converting this object into a mesh. So I go to Mesh, Smooth Object, and it will ask me to, if I want to create a mesh or create a solid. So I say yes, create a mesh. And that actually created something really weird. Screwed up a little bit, but we'll see if it gets better if we smooth it more. No, it doesn't. No, but it looks like a very interesting shape. So I'm going to leave it as is. As you can see, that wasn't the best choice. Good thing I had my backup. That's why I had a copy. Now I have this design. I like it somewhat. I'm going to put a back wall to it, like I did before, the other projects. I'm just going to draw a rectangle. Oh man, my computer is really slowing down now because I got so many different files, complicated files. So what I might do is just open up a drawing, go back to this, and I'm going to copy the parts that I did enjoy. So I can call this light fixture my draft, and this is my final design. Here, of course, I would need to position the object into the right location. Go into conceptual view so I can actually move it with the gizmo. And turn off the grid. I'm going to start putting materials on it. To get to materials, all I do is go to Tools, Palettes, Material Browser, and we're going to start dragging and dropping. Let's go with glass. Frosted maybe? Green, clear green. The only problem here is since this is a solid object, it's in one piece, this whole thing will be green. So you have to take that into consideration. Since this top piece is small and it doesn't have a lot of surfaces, what you can do is you can go back to the material, and when you do select colors for it, we'll go with something, dark gray. So I put dark gray in here. I hold shift. Oh, I think I just missed it. Sorry, it was actually, you gotta hold control to select just a surface. And that doesn't always work. So we might have to go back to this and actually slice it. Or I should have never unioned them together. Actually, I think I do have a part that's not unioned and it's the same shape. Right there. So I'm going to steal that one and place it in here. Problem solved. That is why I have copies of everything. Now we can go back to putting the material on. Glass, this piece. Brick would be a nice background. Let's do that one. And what else for the colors? Oh, we need the top piece, the metal piece here. So let's do gray, dark gray. Alright, and now I'm going to do a quick render. So we'll go render tab, render. Yeah, that brick's not the best brick. But it creates a unique kind of design. So let's go with a different brick. English. I'll keep it as is for now. So I have this picture. If I want to add lights, we can do that. We would create a point light inside. We'll actually keep the outside light on. This can be tricky because I need to place it in the center as if this object was hollow on top and had an actual light fixture somewhere in the center. So what I would do is I'm going to take the center of this arc here, which should be the center of the actual object, glass. Let's see if I can do, oh there you go, snaps into the center, accept it by clicking enter, and I move it down to about this position here. I hope it's there. Yeah, it looks like it's there. You can check by taking the object, right clicking on it, going to hide object, you'll see the light. And to get that back, just go end objects isolation, and have it back. I can rotate around, and I'm going to do that render again. See if that brightness comes out of that light. Ooh, kind of shiny. Kind of, again, there's no background light, so it may not be as good as I want it to be. So again, I can always add additional lights to it, like an exterior light, which I had before. This time I'm going to put it like some kind of angle. So I create a line, go to renders, spotlight, turn up the default light for now. And now I can check it out. You can select it, you can see this, how far it goes, or how intense it is. The yellow is more intense, the red is less intense. You can expand this, you can just make it smaller. And to modify the actual light intensity, you need to go to the properties.
You should be able to just right click on the light and be able to see properties from that.
Oh yeah, there you go. I always forget to do that. Yeah, you should be teaching this class. So we're going to go more intense. Render. There we go. So now I like it. It looks great. But I want to make it more presentable. So for medium, I go to presentation. And I go full out on my rendering, which takes some time because it's more detailed. Let me just pause this recording. Maybe it'll speed up this process.
I just passed everything.
No, it's yeah. Unpause. So there we go. We have a completed glass piece, and you can see that bottom glass kind of makes a weird reflection inside, which may be what I'm looking for or not. And you can even change that glass intensity, the light intensity. So we have this one. We can look at original ones previously by double-clicking on them. Actually, that was a failed one. Here's the previous. So let's say if I wanted to go with a more intense light, I can go down into this area here where it gives me options for all the lights that I have active. I can turn them on and off. My computer cooperates. And you can change properties of them too. So I'm going to make it a little bit stronger. That's active. I might want to, if I want to do the full out presentation again, I can do that too.